Welcome to Natasha Makes. We are live. Yes, happy Easter and all of that malarkey. So last week we were incredibly lucky to have three guests. Yes, three guests. If you missed on Friday, we had Jane Alcock in for Block of the Month. It was so lovely to see her. On Tuesday, we had Angie Atwood. 2.5 hours she spent. It was epic, showing us all about the Wesley rulers. And then on Monday, we had Sarah Payne, and she brought us a beautiful quilt made exclusively for Natasha Makes. We still have some of those. We still have some of Angie's patterns. They are available on the website, and we still have some of Jane's Block of the Month, all exclusive to Natasha Makes. It's www.natashamakes.com if you want to have a look at that. I did realise that actually on Monday we did the whole however long we did without actually showing you what the quilt kit looks like. So I thought I'd show you. So for those of you that want the quilt kit, and it's $49.99 and it makes a metre square quilt, here it is. This is what you'll get from me. All your instructions and an extra ½ metre of white fabric in there. Your wadding, your fat quarters, your mint, your extra. It's all in there. All in there. You don't have to, all you have to do is apply your sewing machine and cotton, and that's it. And by cotton, I mean thread, to sew it together. Like, that's the only thing that doesn't come with it. The rest is all in there. So that was a cracking price. So if you're after maybe at least a treat that isn't going to put anything on the old hips, treat yourself. We've got lots and lots of goodies. We've got a jam-packed show today. None of the guests that we had lined up for today had self-isolated for long enough to be able to come on the show. They'd been here, there, or wherever in the daily course of life. So decision was made. Not this week. So you've got me this week, which is, I hope, absolutely okay. Well, it's called Natasha Makes, you know. I mean, if that's not okay, yeah. So I wanted to bring you a little variety of projects for us today. It did occur to me that sewing is keeping lots of people sane right now. My phone's just buzzed with a message from a friend who is struggling to stay sane right now. She's not a crafter, but she's a knitter. So I'm going to send her some knitting projects. I'm just trying to find you all on Facebook and see if anybody's there this morning saying hello. I suddenly realised, I had a bit of a realisation whilst I was talking to her. Are we live on Facebook anywhere? Is that happening? I don't know. I can't find us. Where are we? Don't know. Oh, I'm not very good at this. Are we actually live? I planned to go live. I should be live. Stephen, are we live? Can't find it. I can't find you. Where are you all? Let's just have a little look. You're not where I normally find you. That's for sure. Not sure. Not sure. If we're not, can someone text me? Cameras should all be on. Yep. Let me just check with tech. So anyway, I'll just keep going until I find out. We should be there. Absolutely should be there. Anyone? Can anyone message me? Are we live? Can't see it. Hang on. Oh, it's trying to go live. Ooh, how very strange. Bear with me then while I just have a little call to see our technical support. We're not live on Facebook.
No, I know. I'm trying to sort it out.
Okay. Okay.
Why.
All right. Okay, bye. So I'm going to pause this. Or we can just have a little chat. Maybe if you're on YouTube, Maybe you, can I get messages on YouTube? I don't know. Technical situation. We're trying to sort that one out. That's all fun. Let me see if I can find us on YouTube. Oh, look, you see it now. Are we live? Are we live there? Are we? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, you see, we're live on YouTube. So you can always pop across to Natasha Makes on YouTube and find us there while we try and make everything else work. So good morning, everyone. That's all right. So we're on YouTube and we're on the website. So if you can't find us, maybe someone can put a little message up on Facebook just to send everybody either to the website, which is www.natashamakes.com, or onto YouTube, which is again Natasha Makes, and that you just search for that on YouTube and that should find us there. So we've had a look at Sarah's quilts. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. Technology, poof, who'd have it, eh? Now, let me go through what we're going to make today. We're going to have a look at some makes I've got on the website for under £15, which I think is, and some are under 12, because I think it's nice to have some little makes that are, you know, you've got your quilts, you've got things like that, but then you've also got makes that are very satisfying to make and can be done in a day easily. So, toys and stuff like that are always a lovely one, and Freddie, this came about because Freddie asked me to make some extra toys the other day, so that's what I'm going to show you today. Just a little tip here and there, because I've got the Tilda bears a backup and the Tilda angel mouse a backup on the website. So let me show you. This is the Tilda bear, and I will show you this because he's very, very cute. Now, yeah, look. He is 51 centimetres tall. Gosh, how he's grown. And I've got him in plain bear fabrics because that was kind of what Freddie said he wanted. So we're part way through our bear at the moment. And I just wanted to show you a few little things. Once you've done one of these, you can do the whole range. You know, you can do the mouse really easily. The monkey, they're all pretty much along the same kind of lines. So then what I will show you is just how to do the head on the angel. I wasn't going to bring the angel back, but here we go. There we go. There's the angel mouse. So it's sweet, really sweet. But lots of you had asked on Facebook if we could bring back the angel mouse in kit form. So I have, and I've added 2 different colorways as well, which is uber cute. So the bear I've made so that it can be made for boys and isn't, you know, is gorgeous, still fabulous fabrics, but isn't necessarily girly or anything like that because, you know, my son wanted some, so that's fine. In fact, let me show you the different bear colorways that we have. Now, this one is the sand. Here we go, I'll show you all these here. This is your sand and teal. And this is in the Tilda tea cloth fabric, which is just fab. Normally when you have a fabric like that, it would be quite a loose weave, but of course this is Tilda quality. This is your Tilda doll and toy fabric here. So it's absolutely made for all of this. Absolutely fabulous. And this isn't always easily or readily available. So we've got that. Now, in case you did want a slight girly one, I've got the same sand colour. And that has got a pink spot with it. And these are all on the website. These are all $11.99, which for a toy make is really good value. Really good value. Then there is stone here. And that's coming with a gorgeous yellow. It's actually called eggnog, which I just adore. I'm like, yeah, that's really gorgeous. So that's eggnog and sand. But I think I just called it yellow dot or something like that. Something really imaginative. And then there is biscuit and teal. So I didn't know if any of you were making for sort of grandchildren or anything like that. If you wanted same but different for grandchildren, look, they are a slightly different colour. One slightly different, slightly darker than the other. If you wanted to make same but different for grandkids or anything like that, then that's why I've kind of done that. So they are your different colours for the bear. And again, so as I say, each kit will make a bear and is $11.99. Now for the angel mouse, isn't that gorgeous? And again, same price for the mouse, $11.99 for the mouse. She is 48 centimeters tall and has a little tutu and wings. Beautiful. And then brand new fabrics today. Look at these. So this is from your old Rose collection. And then you've got your little Tilda spot there, which is from your classic basics from Tilda there. And then, isn't that gorgeous too? So the wings and the skirt and the ear innards are made out of that fabric, and the actual mouse is made out of that. Or the other way, well, there's not enough fabric to do it the other way around, but that's how that is looking. Do we know if we're on Facebook yet? Anyone? 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 Don't know. Let's find out. Let me just send a little message. Not on Facebook. Are we on FB yet? This is how we have to. This is how we have to deal with tech these days, because obviously they're not here. No one's here to sort these things out when it all goes horribly wrong. But like I say, it is on YouTube. There we go. Right. So they are those. Let's start then. There's just one little thing to know when you make these toys, and once you've got that sussed, you'll be absolutely fine. As soon as you get the pattern, I put the patterns are free. They're free out in internet world, and I print them off for you because I know that sometimes I get an email from one lady saying she couldn't find the download. Could I possibly send her the link and what have you? She'd never bought a kit or anything from me. And I was like, okay, right. But I put these, I download them, I print them off, I put them in your kits for you so that you don't have to go off into the internet world and find them. So the first thing to do, these are your pattern pieces, cut them out. They do not include a seam allowance, okay? But I'm cutting on the line, and I'm just going to cut out the face, and that's it for now, okay? So just go round, and if you are screaming at the screen right now, saying, but Natasha, Natasha, you're using your beautiful scissors for cutting out your card. What are you doing? Can I show you this? Paper! Them are paper scissors. See, all marked up so that I know that it's okay to use these ones. Now, this bit here, I'm going to cut into there and into there. And down here, there was a dot and lots of little dashes. That's also a mark that I'm going to take into account. Okay, so I'm just going to cut that, whoop, cut that around. So, let's go down there. And let's go down there like that. Now, all of these, when you get your fabric, these will fit onto, you get your fat quarter and you fold it right sides together in half, like that. Ba, 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 ba. There we go. It's weird not having any messages. It's all quiet. Now, we're going to add a seam allowance, but for now, what we will be doing is just drawing round. Now, Freddie and I did one of these. We did his bear yesterday together. I cut out the pattern pieces, he drew round them, I cut them out, I sewed round them, he stuffed them. And that was how our little team worked yesterday. When I get to this marker here, I'm just going to make a little mark there. And again there. I wonder if the pink would show up better. It's the joy of this pen. I've got choices. Oh yeah, I like that. I have colour choices. And I now have the refills. So when you get through them, you can get the refills. They're on the website. They were loaded up this morning. They've just arrived. I am going to mark into that little dip in there. Like that. Okay. don't know if you can see that. Actually, yeah, you can see the darker better than. Let me go back in then and do that in the darker if that's easier for you to see. Boo, 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 boo. Lots of problems with Facebook this morning. It just does not want to play. It was all set up to go live as well. Don't know what's going on there. It's stolen my link. I hope you found me somewhere else. Right, okay, so you've got this now, and you would go round all your pieces. There you go. And I'm going to start there, and I'm going to sew all the way around there like that. I will do a holding stitch there and a holding stitch there. And by a holding stitch, I mean on my machine I've got a little dot, just one dot, and that does 1, 2, 3 in one place, and I call that holding stitch. So that's what I'm going to do, and just sew all the way around. So far I haven't cut anything out, and that might feel a bit weird for you. You can pin it if you want to. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to start on one of those bits, go to there. Now, that's the other thing to do, is take your stitch length down to 1.8 because these are quite intricate. You want to have a slightly smaller stitch length. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then off we go. If you have something like the Dukey, where you can program what happens every time I take my foot off my pedal, you see what happens is that my needle stays down and my foot comes up. If you have a machine that you can program stuff like that in, it does make it a lot easier, because as I come around a curve, I can then just reposition, do another couple of stitches, reposition, and get that really lovely gentle curve. Now the foot that I've got on allows me to see in between, so I'm just making sure that the line that I've drawn is always feeding through that middle bit. I've got my needle so that it's right in the center there, so it's not on 1/4 of an inch or anything like that. It's right in the middle there. And as I come up to here at the top of the head, so that is, I've sewn to there, I'm going to do a holding stitch there. And then I'm just going to very quickly just whiz round to the next spot. I'm going to do another holding stitch there because I can't remember if I trim back or not. So let's just cover ourselves and round we come. Now, this is just the only bit that I thought really could do with a little bit more explanation than we had in the book. So I've spun this around and I'm going to pop my pattern piece on my stitch line there, and I will draw that in. This is effectively a dart that I'm drawing in. Now I then go in with my pinking shears and trim my seam allowance. Now I go quite close where there's a curve, and I like to pink because it's going to stop any fraying, and also it just takes away any bulk, and especially on those curves smooths them out a little bit. So round I go. So that fabric will get put to one side to do the rest. Now I'm going to pull this apart, and this is why I've drawn on both sides. Let me show you this here. So now, as I pull that apart, can you see I've got that line there all the way around to there, and I'm going to sew that line. So I'm basically, it's like you're boxing the bottom of a bag. effectively is what's happening here. So pull it to one side like that. Find that point there and that point there. And if you want to pin it, of course I don't have any pins close to hand. What have I done with them all? Well, that's, here they are. If you want to, just hang on a minute. There we go. Right, just pin them if you want. And I'm just going to stitch around that arc. I'm just going to stitch, you see, around that arc there. Now that's all on your pattern pieces, it's all there. Now I'm going to very gently come on and I'm going to go a few stitches, then I'm just going to do a little holding stitch. I'm not going to do it right on the edge. And then round I come, taking out my pin as I come. And again, I'm going to do a little holding stitch before I then sew gently off the edge. Okay, so we've now stitched around there. And that should give her a nice smooth head. Let's see, shall we? Let's have a look. Any update on Facebook? Have we managed to get onto Facebook yet? Oh well. We'll always put the link up later. But it's just a shame not to have messages from everyone. Right, turn that inside out. And you will see that what you have is, in your little mouse head, you have a little seam at the top, which is, hang on, let me pop some stuff in there so that you can see. Because this is the key to getting that nice round domed head on these animals, on these critters. And this was the only thing that I found a little bit like, oh, have I done that right? And I had to go back and double check myself and find an easy way to do it, because I'm all about the easy way. Oh, I'm on Facebook! Hooray! 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 Thank you, Gemma, for letting me know. Let me find everybody on Facebook. I don't know why that didn't want to play. Who knows? Are we there? Where are we? Where are we? Where? Oh, I don't know. I can't find it. Who knows? I'll find it in a minute. I'm back on Facebook. Thank you. Could you find it for me, please? There's my Facebook thingy there. Should be in there. Technical support has arrived in the form of hubby. He's as technical as it's getting this morning. Why was I off? Do we know?
Some codes changed. I have no idea.
Codes changed. Uh-oh. Codes.
Changed 2 minutes before we went on.
2 minutes before we went on, the codes changed. Amazing. So, yeah, that's what I want. Thank you. Thank you. So, if you have missed the beginning of the show, I'm so sorry. You can find it on the website. You can find it on Facebook. Not on Facebook. You can find it on the website, or you can find it on YouTube. But good morning. Hello. I'm so sorry about that, everybody. Really sorry. Vivian's watching with enthusiasm. Well, at least you can now. So that's fab. So what you've missed so far is basically I've sewn ahead. Yeah, that happened. And because I know a lot of you have bought the bear kits and the mouse kits and stuff like that. I've been asked for the mouse kit again. So I've done the same colourway and 2 more new ones. Look on the website. They're $11.99 for the kit, and they are absolutely gorgeous. They are 48. They're nearly half a metre tall. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. We did go live at 10, but Facebook changed a code right before we started. So that was really helpful. Thanks, Facebook. Thanks. I'm just stuffing ahead, and then I'm going to show you that bit that we just stitched. Like I said, it's a little bit like boxing out the bottom of a bag, but what it does is dome the head. So let me move that out of the way so that you can see. And this was Freddie's job yesterday, was to stuff the heads. So you can see round there, there you go. Can you see at the top there? We've basically just boxed its head. That sounds a bit vicious, doesn't it? Boxed its head. But that's what we've done. And the ears, you see, you won't see it because the mouse ears will go there and there. And it's really rather gorgeous. Where you stuff it and turn it, you've got that extra seam in there. So that will then sit on top of the body. And then you just sort of slip stitch it around. But there it is. It's really quite uber cute. So this is Freddie's one. And you can see I've just been stitching his little head on there. This will get finished today. And then I just wanted to show you, for those of you that used to watch Sewing Quarter, you will know that I used to absolutely love the Prim turning tool. You can turn these if you are like Jo Carter with her amazing turning fingers. But if you do have a turning tool, they were absolutely made for the legs. So the legs and the arms, again, draw them on, sew round, then cut out. That's the easiest way to do any of Tilda's toys because they do have skinny little arms and legs. When you turn these out, go for the thicker end first. And if you do have a turning tool, don't use the pokey bit, use the flat bit, and then just push through. This is your easiest way to poke out arms and legs. Now, for those of you that have made any kind of Tilda toy, you'll be like, hang on, that used to take me about 20 minutes. Yeah, right, it was really annoying. So that was the only thing that ever used to put me off, was having to turn through the arms and legs by hand. But with a turning tool, it is done literally in seconds. And then I would press that so that I know exactly where my seam is. And then once you press it, let me show you what happens. When you press it, you see, you will press that seam, so it's then going to be really easy to then just sew shut. So really fill these, like really fill them, and then look, I've just got that. So I will stitch that shut, stuff a bit more in, and then slip stitch. And if I can stuff a bit more, overstuff it so that then that will fill in, then that's it. And this is why, so because we really stuff these tight, that's why you shorten your seam, your stitch length to sort of 1.8. That would be my top tips for anyone that's that's making these. I'll finish these off today. You don't want to watch me hand stitch and whatnot, and I will get those finished and I'll show you the finished deal. But I just think they're really gorgeous. So this is the mouse. So there you go, that's your mouse there, and she is now in 3 different colourways. So for those of you that didn't see earlier, let me show you the colourways. These kits are $11.99. They're all on the website. So you've got the beautiful old rose with the spots. You have got the blue rose and the spots, and then you've got the one I've just been using, which is gorgeous with little star spots, which is a bit sweet. And then for the bear, I went for plain toy fabric with the bear, because I just thought they looked fab together. And I thought, you know, if you're making for grandchildren, they might not want florals. Freddie didn't want a floral bear. So that was your biscuit and teal. This is your sand and teal, sand and pink spot, and then your stone and eggnog. They are all your Tilda fabrics there. So yes, did you all have a nice Easter? Bit weird, wasn't it? Really bit weird. But I hope that you managed to have a nice time nonetheless. It was, yeah, we did an Easter egg hunt and all that jazz. So I think we got away with it. think we got away with it. Right, let me pop those there for now. If there's anything else that you want to see on those, do let me know. Pop that head in there. I'm almost organised, you know. Ish. So yes, good morning. Hello. Oh, look at you all. Thank you. Penny, yes, you did. Thought it wasn't you, Penny. It was It's not you, it's me. Yeah, and Dorothy, so good to see you, and lots of Tilda. There's all sorts on the show today. I've got Tilda, I've got Lewis and Irene, I've got William Morris, I've got a little bit of French General. Yeah, all sorts. I've got a bit of Amy Butler. It's all there. And the full show from the beginning. Although, to be honest, if you go and watch from the beginning, you'll get me going, am I on Facebook? Why isn't it working? And all those kind of stuffs. No, Heather, you haven't missed 25 minutes. Facebook missed 25 minutes, and it's all okay. Geraldine, hello! Watching you, and your smile makes the world seem normal. Keep making us smile. Yeah, I mean, gosh. Florence is watching while making bags for the NHS. You are a hero too. And Karen has switched back from the website. Hello. And we're all back. Hello. Laurie, the Lego building has gone well. So, yeah, the kids got a little Lego thing each. I think Emily got the rabbit and Freddie got the chick. So he obviously generously offered to make Emily's little rabbit as well. I thought that was very generous of him. So he's had a lovely morning making Lego. It meant that he sits outside the studio because he knows he's not really allowed in because he stands on wires and stuff and it's not ideal. And just plays with stuff because he's 6 and he has to touch everything. So either that or he'll go, Mummy, you could always put on a show for me, and then I'll just get, I'll get out of your way then. I'm like, He's a bit too good at this diplomatic thing, isn't he? Yes. These negotiations. Right, so what else are we going to make this morning? Yeah, let me show you. Lots of things. We're going to make this. Now, I made this. This was made for a show for Ho Chanda, and this was my pattern, and I made it there. Lots of you bought it from Ho Chanda. Thank you. And some of you didn't see it at all because you don't watch Ho Chanda. That's absolutely fine too. So I promised that I would do the full demo here, and I've got completely different colorways for you here. So if you look on the website, I've added an extra one this morning, which is this. Which is William Morris Strawberry Thief. How lush is this? Also available by the half metre if you want it. And I know that I've got 2 of you waiting for the William Morris bundle. That's because one of the fabrics came up short on the bolt. So it meant 2 of you just have to wait. And they are on their way. The next bolt is already on its way. This is your William Morris Strawberry Thief in red. Absolutely gorgeous. This was commissioned for John Lewis, and then they went, oh, we've shut our stores. So we don't want however many thousands of metres. So their loss is your gain. Here it is at Natasha Makes, available by the half metre or as part of this kit. If you just want to try it, it's particularly gorgeous. And then to go for your lining of your pouch, French General. This is Moda fabric by the designer French General, who, if you do not know, are an American company. I think her name is Kari, the designer, K-A-A-R-I, I think that's how you pronounce it. She loves all things French, and in 1997 she moved to, I think it was Los Angeles, and set up a sort of a curiosity shop. So she goes to the south of France, she sources all things sort of French and interesting, and has those big sort of pharmacy jars, and fills them with interesting French knickety-knacks. And designs now. She started off designing jewellery, she now designs fabric, and that's going to be your inside of your pouch. Also in your kit, you will get a fat quarter of wadding. You will also get, and they are over here, you will also get 3 magnetic clasps and the keepers, and you will get one in antique brass. You will get one in a lovely gold colour, They really are quite strong. Gold colour there. And you will also get one in a silver colour. Now, your kit will make 2 folded pouches, but I've put 3 magnets in case you want to go on and make another one. That was the thing. So I'm going to make one of these today, not out of the William Morris. So I'll fold that back up. I'm going to make it. Tell you what, Freddie is lucking out today because I promised him I would make him something out of the Liberty fabric that I have, and I think this kit is very, very cute. So there we go, let me pop that out of the way to there. And this, oh yeah, this is the fabric that I'm going to make it out of today. I've also got it in Amy Butler as well, but this is Liberty, gorgeous Liberty fabric. If this is not the most exquisite fabric, I don't know what is, quite frankly. Bing! Look at that! Isn't that just gorgeous? Just gorgeous. And we're going to make it out of that one today, because I know a lot of you have already bought this one. So it seems kind of only fair. We'll do that. And then when we've done making that, we're going to make this. Now, I designed and made this morning. This is, it's a book cushion, which I love the concept of book cushions. I think it's really gorgeous. So, because otherwise at night I'm going, well, Freddie, where did you leave your book? What did you do with your book? Is it in my bedroom? Is it in your bedroom? Did you leave it in the bathroom? Where is your book? Freddie, where's your book? We can't have a bedtime story without your book. Where is this sounding familiar? Okay. But this is based on Freddie because, well, that's his book, right? You don't get a thing. We finished it last night. It's a great book. Good fun read. But you don't get it. You put your own book in there. But what I've done with this, and this is glow-in-the-dark fabric. This is Lewis and Irene glow-in-the-dark fabric. And it's a bit fun. Look. So you're going to get 3 fat quarters. You've got 2 different colourways to check on, to choose from. But also, I put in these. So you'll get a little bag of lavender as well with these. These are limited kits. I don't have loads of this fabric left. But these are lavender ravioli. And I've put them in for a couple of reasons. Firstly, lavender I find to be very, very relaxing. And I made Freddie one of the tablet stands the other night to put his book on. And I put some lavender in there with the buckwheat, and I found it. So I put him to bed the other night. I said, Freddie, what are you doing? And he was resting his head on his iPad stand because he loves the smell of the lavender. He said, Mummy, I love the smell of it. So I just go to sleep smelling the lavender. He's 6, his choice. I didn't say anything. So it suddenly occurred to me, in the first one that I made of these, I put lavender in it. And I thought, well, that's silly, isn't it? I can't wash it now. So what I've done instead is put a little bit of extra fabric in and the lavender so that you can, and I'll show you how to make these little lavender ravioli bags, and then they can just slip in the pocket there and you still get the smell. But if you need to wash the cushion, just take them out and bung it in the wash. It's not so big that it can't just go in the wash. That will go in any size washing machine. Also, there is enough to make a few more because it's only a teaspoon in this, but they smell great. So if you want to put them under their pillow when they go to sleep or by their pillow, then they can get that lovely aroma to reactivate. This is Yorkshire lavender, gorgeous. If you want to reactivate, just give it a little rub. Oh, amazing. And that just reactivates the oils in there. And then, but also Freddie has all of these in his drawers. Both the kids do. They've got them in their smalls drawers so that they smell fresh. So, their t-shirts and everything else that are all in their drawers, they all have some of these in, and it's just a nice little thing to have. And also, if you suffer with any kind of moths, then just sew a little bit of corner with a little bit of ribbon and hang them on some of your hangers in your wardrobe, and then you don't get moths attacking your clothes. So I'll show you how to make that and that. This has got cheat binding on it. That's cheat, not cheap. Nothing cheap here, let me tell you. So we'll be making that. Let's start off with the pouch, shall we? Now, with my pouch here, this is how it's going to end up looking. Well, there or thereabouts. I just did a couple of extra lines of stitching there but that's got my little stain remover pen in there. And I always take this now to Hochanda with me, so that in there I've got my pen, so that I've always got a colour that's going to show up on camera. I've got my little snips, so that I know I've always got a fierce pair of snips. And then I've got my stain remover in case I, you know, pin myself and get blood on fabric. That will remove it. I've got a few left on the website. So that's my it's like my little essential pouch. But, I mean, that could be pens, that could be anything for anyone. So the first thing that it says in the instructions gives you the cutting sizes. But the very first thing it says is to think about the direction of your fabric. Just because if you have a directional fabric, then you might want to just think. So for this one, look, when I opened up, I wanted to do it. So that was an Anna Maria Horner fabric, actually. It's lovely, isn't it? I don't have that yet, but that was that just meant that when I opened it up, I had that there. So if you are using a directional fabric, because you know you've got that option, then you can do that. So this kit will make 2, like I say. So let's just have a look at how we're going to cut this out, shall we? I layer up my fabrics because I can, quite frankly, and because I've got the cutting equipment that will just see through all of that, cut through that nicely. So I'm just lining my fabrics up one on top of the other, making sure that the bottom edge here is nice and straight. Got a little lump there. Oh, whilst we're just cutting, a little word on creative grid orders. I am nearly there. I've only got 2 types of ruler that I'm just still waiting to come back into stock. So if your order has taken a little while, I'm still just playing catch up with the warehouse from that shutting down. They are open again and orders are coming back out, so that's fab. But yeah, just takes a little bit of extra time. So I will just chop off my ends here, and then I'm going to cut it there, and I'll cut for the next one, although I'm not going to make it now, but if I've cut it, then I know it's ready to go, because these, honestly, these take minutes to do. So there we go. That's always nice and handy to have. Oh, Claire says, have we got gremlins like in her overlocker? Do you know what, Claire? We might. We just might. But happy birthday, by the way, for, was it yesterday or the day before? So Claire was basically laughing at my inability to even manage to get an Easter egg for my kids without leaving it in the car and melting it. So poor Emily ended up with the most horrifying looking melted flamingo. It looked like, well, it just looked like it had been Salvador Dali'd, in all honesty. It was pretty awful, poor child. I'm hoping that she's just too young to ever actually remember it. And do you know what? She seemed to think that it tasted okay. So that's fine. So the measurements are all in the instructions. That's what you've got left over. So you could make little mini ones if you wanted to. Yeah, see, that would make up into like quite a sweet little little needle holder or something. That would be sweet. We might have a look at that. Then, so you see, this really is pretty easy so far, right? We've cut to the cutting instructions, and now we'll get our wadding out. Now, this is gorgeous wadding. It is 80/20. Very, 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 very lovely. And let's just cut that. There we go. Yeah, I am slowly coming. Oh yeah, you see, look, with that left over, you really could. You could do, you could make a lovely little needle holder. So you could wad it like that, and then just use that on the inside to stick your needles in. All these options are there, right? I now need to spin them around. Yeah, no, I'm coming to the realization that, thank goodness, for sewing. You know, gosh, these people that are really struggling with isolation, I'm like, I'm having a lovely time, thanks. Really nice time. I'm just getting on with sewing stuff and having a nice time. And people who are feeling isolated. And I just suddenly thought, you know what, I'm not, because I mean, I miss my mum and my dad, don't get me wrong. But because we've got our community, our little Natasha Makes community, I'm just so grateful for it. I'm so thankful for it, because I'm always busy. I'm always making stuff. I'm always doing stuff. So it's, you know, it's good. It's all good. Right, you will get instructions. You will get full instructions. That's not the one. You'll get full instructions with this, which I will just refer back to very quickly. What do I say? Put your fabrics right sides together. Right sides together. There we go. That's my second pouch. I'll do that one later. Right sides together with your lining fabric on the bottom. Check. And your outside fabric on the top. Check. Then you're going to put it on top of your wadding. There we go. Check. Check, check, checkity check. There we go. Okay. So we're all laid up. Happy as Larry, ready to go. Now, let's see what we do next, because next we're going to start putting in these magnetic clips. So we will measure, and this is where your Perfect 5 ruler has been fabulous. We are going to go for the lining fabric first. We are going to measure in 4.5 inches and 1.5 inches down. Okay, so we're going to go in 4.5 inches and 1.5 inches down. There it is. There's my 1.5 inches, and I will pop a little mark just there. Now, what I need to do now, oh no, what have I done with them all? Hang on just 1 second, because I need the little claspy bits. There we go. That's what I forgot. You get one of your keepers. Let me just double check my measurements there. That was 4.5. Oh no, look, you see, actually look where you're measuring. I thought that didn't look quite midway. There, should be there. And then you put on that mark, and I'm just going to show this up to this camera up here, which will probably upset everything as I go. Okay, so on the mark that I made, just that one there, that little pink mark, I'm going to put that over the top so that the middle bit is where that pink mark was, and then I'm just going to mark either side. Let me bring that back to here. Come on, camera, switch over. There we go. So middle bit over there, and then mark either side. And then what I know is I will need my little snippety snips. These ones are good for the job. And I'm going to snip a tiny, tiny, tiny bit through that fabric where I've just made those marks. Okay. Through the wadding as well, but only tiny, tiny bit through the wadding. Bink. There you go. And then I will get, which colour, what did I do with the clasp? Oh, here they go. Which colour should we go for? I think silver will look lovely with this one. And we're going to put, bum, 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 bum. Do you know what, actually, you'd probably be better off seeing the instructions there. Look, that's how clear the instructions are. That was your marker to mark it, that point, and then you mark either side and snip through there, and then we're going to go to the wadding and we're going to put it through and press either side. And that is going to be with the, which one did I say? Oh, the male one. Now, you have, oh, not that one. There we go. You have two parts to your clasp. You have the male and the female. And the male one jots up. So I'll leave you to imagine how to remember that. And the female doesn't. So I'm going to say doesn't. The male bit goes in, yeah. So that's often quite an easy way to remember it, I think. So we are going to, and of course I've just realised that that fabric should have been right sides together. Gosh, it's all going wrong today, isn't it? But good to realise it now, rather than when I've just sewn all the way around it. Thinking, how is that not looking right? So pop your little end bits through there, like so. You can tell it's been a little while since I wrote the instructions, can't you? Should have reread them again. And then just press, if you need to get the back of a spoon or something, I've got quite strong hands. There we go. So that looks like that. And then on your correct side, you've got that. Okay, we're now going to go back to here and we are going to measure now down the bottom part of here. We're going to measure in the same amount. So we're going to measure in our 4.5 inches, 1.5 inches up, using my little perfect 5. There it is there. And then, where's my keeper? Keep losing them, don't I? Measuring the same amount. And again, doing that thing again. And then this time, get an old bit of wadding. We've all got like old scraps, right? And just cut a little square off, just because that's going to help reinforce, because these magnets are really quite strong. Really quite strong. So I would snip through there and there, pop that there, and then you're going to pop the other half through there and through there, and then through your wadding, like so. And then just push either side, but that just is going to help reinforce your fabric. And there you have the other part with its little square of wadding on the back. Oh no, I forgot to put the keeper on. Oh, look out. Honestly, you know when one thing goes wrong and then you just see if these will bend back. Yay! I do know how to make this, honestly, because it's my pattern. I really should have read the instructions. So yes, good morning everybody. I will wake up shortly. Okay, there we go. So we've got, let's double check. Our fabric, right sides together. Got that round the right way, thank goodness. And then we've got the wadding on the back. So we've got all of that. And I'm going to sew all the way around. Whatever seam allowance is up to you, I'm going to use 1/4 inch. And I'm going to leave my turning through on the underside of the side. So when this all goes together, so that was my, when this is all done, that will be my lining. So I need to leave it. I'm going to leave my turning through on one of the long sides there. Okay. Right, let's go to the machine and let's go all the way around, shall we? So 1/4 inch, check. And let's just do a little holding stitch there. And off we go. What I am doing with these is I'm making them for little gifts for people, and then adding in just a little something personal. Because at the moment, obviously, shopping is tricky. And especially the cushions that we're going to make are absolutely perfect for any of Freddie's friends that have got birthdays and we can't get to see them. These poor little kids that are having their birthdays and not seeing their friends and family on their birthdays, it's quite hard for them to understand, I think. So that's what I've been doing, and if you want to add in a little book voucher or something like that so they can then get the book to fill it, and that's up to you. Or if you're doing a little something like this, maybe it's going to be a little makeup pouch or something, in which case maybe you want to add in some really nice tweezers or something. I don't know, something that anybody uses, or some nice makeup brushes. I've got a thing about tweezers. How can tweezers be one day like the best tweezers you've ever had and then the next just not work? I just don't get it. So if I always have to have a really good pair, else it drives me a little bit mad. Right, I've gone all the way around. I'm going to do my little triple stitch there. Okay, and then back over to here. And then I'm just going to clip my little corners. I am going to double check, because this is the kind of morning I'm having, that I have actually stitched all the way around and I haven't slid off the side somewhere. If you need to trim anything back, then do. And then, I can't remember who told me this the other day. They said, go to the farthest point when you're turning through. Ali, was it you? Go to the farthest point and pull through. And it, yeah, I'm like, of course that makes complete sense. Had I ever done it before? No. But now I do, all the time. How gorgeous is this? I just love this fabric. Just absolutely love it. So gently pushing out those corners. If you want to get your turny through tool and gently push them out, then you can. Now I actually made a slightly larger version for Emily, and have her have a spare nappy and a little mini pack of baby wipes in it, and I just keep that in the car, or if we go to a restaurant or something, you know, back in the days where that was something one did. Yeah, right. Because invariably with my children, you would take them to a restaurant and invariably they would then need to go to the loo. That is the love and joy of children, and yeah, thanks for that, kids. So yeah, that's why I would always take a little changing bag. Now you can slip stitch that turning through gap, or if you just want to leave it like that, what I will just do is get my iron, whoops, up and running and together. Try and find me a plug, and I will just press that. You can get away without slip stitching lots of things, I find, if you've pressed it, because we're going to top stitch down the side, so you won't necessarily need to. Come here, plug. You are needed. Oh, the other disaster that I had this morning, I broke my I broke the lead for the machine. I stood on it. I've obviously broken a connection in there somehow. So my machine wouldn't turn on. I was like, no, what's going on? Luckily, it worked. The cord for the other machine worked. Could you imagine? Be like, oh, hello. Today's show will be all hand sewing, because that's all I can do. Yeah, that'll be the thing, won't it? When I do actually come to do a hand sewing show, you'll be like, have you actually broken your machine? Because I am planning on doing some lovely hand sewing soon for you. So press, 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 press. That way you will probably get away with, hopefully, not having to to sew that. You might have to pop in a little stitch here and there. Now, you can, of course, measure all of this beautifully, blah, 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 blah. I tend to just do up the, do it up, and helps if I do it the right way round, right? But it shows, if you change your mind, you can always just turn it around the other way. So that's going to be there. Okay, should have done that turning hole the other end. There we go. So that's how it's going to sit, like that. I think that's a bit good. And then I'm just going to stitch up those sides all the way around, and then up those sides. So in stitching all the way around, I'm just reinforcing everything and sewing in that little bit there. So I'm not going to even go 1/4 of an inch, I'm going to go even smaller than that. Have we got that weird thing again? Have I got subtitles? Why have I got subtitles or closed caption? Something weird is going on with Facebook, isn't it? Ah, gosh. Right, okay. To the machine, I say, to the machine. You will probably want to actually use a colour that's going to blend in, not like me, who's just going all out with what was in there to show up. Ah, now I've gone right on that edge, and I possibly shouldn't have done, because it's just popped itself. There we go. Yeah, don't do it right on the edge. Do it a little way in and work your way around, because it's just bird's nested itself. Of course it has, because that's the day we're having today. Yay! This is why we have stitch unpickers, right? Because otherwise it would put the businesses out of business. Stitch unpickers out of business, wouldn't it? And we don't want that. We want everybody to be in business. So let's try that all again, shall we? Start a little way in is my tip for you this morning. I think this is my problem. There's so much going on in my head that actually, by the time I've made a pattern, I've moved on to something else. I did this last week. This isn't this week's pattern. I can't be expected to retain any amount of information. Clearly. Each new piece of information is pushing something else out. I think that's my excuse. That's what's going on. There we go. Yeah, so you just don't want to start off right in that corner. The measurement down was done when you were putting your magnetic clasp in, was done so that you can stitch round and your machine not go into that bit. Yeah, you can sew all the way around without worrying about that. You see, so there was thought that went into this. I promise. It looks like I'm obviously a little bit ditzy now, but at the time it worked. If you want to put a walking foot on, of course, then do, because you're going through a few little layers there. There we go. And we are back to the beginning. Now what I did with the initial one, you can quilt this, you know, if you want, that's fine. This is how I knew where I was going to go with it. Lined everything up, snip my little snippety bits off there. And just press that in place. And then you know exactly where you are. And if you want to get yourself, there's a bit of a lunge there, it's like doing exercise, isn't it? Pop yourself a little clip either side. and then you know where you're at. You're good to go. Now, the reason that I just pressed that was because if you want to, you can just do a couple of lines, which then just helps turn that over. Oh, look, that's how good this is. Love it. And then I'm just going to stitch up both sides. So I'm going to stitch up both sides there, and if you want to, on that crease line, pop 2 little lines of stitching. It does just help it fold over. Now let's go back to that machine. Yeah, here we go. Now I don't start, I go over the line of stitching that I've just done, and I don't start right on the edge. There we go. There we go. And I will just go over that edge and back again. Hello, machine, back again. Oh yeah, you forgot about reverse, didn't you? There we go. Just because if you are like me and an overfiller, then you might want just that little bit of extra reinforcement there. Boop, here we go. So your stitches are quite nicely disguised. Again, go back, dink, 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 because you're going over the line that you've just top stitched around. And then when I get to the bottom, I'm not going to go all the way off. I'm just going to do a little keeping one there. And I'm going to go on that line straight across there. Now obviously you would measure yours and do it all beautifully. I'm going to trust in the fact that my machine pulls straight, and I wouldn't trust this with any other machine, I'll be honest. I really wouldn't. And then I'll just move my stitch again and use that line that I've just sewn as a guide. I'm going to start my stitch in that where I just did that little top stitch and just sew. So it's like twin needling, I guess, but a faux one. But yeah, that line absolutely straight because my machine rocks. And there we have it. Just trim off your little edges, dink dink. That now helps that to fold over like that. Yeah, see, straight on. Trim off any little excessive bits. And if you know that it's going to have a certain use, like my original one did for holding certain things in it, then you can just do lines of stitches up there. But otherwise, that is a very handy little pouch with gorgeous linings made. Easy, quick, easy makes that you can fill and personalise, and is a lovely little gift. Or just a little something for, but you can make 2 out of the kit, so you can keep one, gift one. I did a show on Hochanda with lovely Paola the other day, and she ran off to get the fabric that we were selling, and she was going to make something for her niece and something for her mother, and put the same little bits of fabric in each, so that they were joined by the fabric, which I thought was absolutely beautiful. So this is another way to stay connected with people, and that is done. Right, okay. And you see, there we go, spare one ready to go. Easy, easy peasy. Right, let's have a look. Full instructions as well. Wadding, 3 magnetic clasps, all in, you are good to go. Right, let's put those then to one side. Running out of space. Gosh, okay. Oh yeah, the thingy. I can turn my iron off now. I don't really need that. Right, so the folded pouch is £19.99, and it comes with everything that you need. And the bear and the angel mouse are $11.99. So I wanted to bring you really affordable makes today, and I hope that's, you know, where we're at. Now this, you don't get the book. I don't know why I'm showing you. This is a great book. We're loving David Williams right now. This is what we're going to make next. These were just 4. You get enough fabric to make loads. And that is the cushion. That is one colourway of the cushion. I'm going to make it in the other colourway for you, but I will just change my thread. This is glow in the dark. Where is my glow in the dark? Ha-ha! I think this is the right one. Oh, hi Arthur. Yeah, we're here. Arthur's just arrived, everyone. Right, if I do this, then you can see these are your glow in the darky bits. Hang on. Woo. So all of this. These are actual whatever you call galaxies or whatever, which I think is really lovely, and they glow in the dark. And then the planets all glow, the rockets glow, the stars glow, and on the back, look at that, they all glow. And I just think it's really fun. Gorgeous. Like I say, I don't have loads of these, and I'm not getting this fabric back in stock again. That's it. When it's gone, it's gone. But this is what I will be making for Freddie's little friends for their birthdays going forward. So that is one colourway with the orange around the outside. And then this is the other colourway. You've got the lovely orange there, and this time it's edged in navy. Let me show you how these glow. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, shooting stars. And then these glow. Hang on. If I just plop this over, flop that there like that. Look at it all glowing. Isn't that fab? So because these little stalky bits down here, they don't glow, they end up looking like spaceships. It's just brilliant. Freddie loves this fabric. So I don't have an awful lot left, because it might have been purloined by a certain small person who's like, Mummy, could we just? Yes. Could we just? Yes. Need to learn to say no, don't I? So the binding comes with it. Everything comes with it that you need. And your instructions as well. So I'm just going to cut this out. I did this to just 15 centimetres because I wanted it to be not too big that a little person, you know, would struggle with it. And I also didn't want it to be too big that you can just throw the whole thing in the wash. You can, of course, you could make this, you could do this so that you had, oh God, what the word? Where are my words today? I think I ate them along with a lot of chocolate yesterday. Yeah, so you can just bung it in the wash, and it's not, you know, you can just do that. Okay. Let's get cutting. So if I've lined up all my fabrics, then I know that I'm good to go. I've lined it all up along that edge. If you have got the new Stripology XL, it is just brilliant, and well done if you've managed to get it. I've got a whole load more that I've got to send out as well, and I've got a few spare in stock. So I'm going to just cut that fabric there like that, and then with the fabric that I've got left over, I'm going to keep that piled up, realign it down there, and then cut myself some 2.5 inch strips. Put that to one side, and then let's lay these out, shall we? So this is basically the joy of having any kind of Stripology ruler, is that you suddenly have the ability to cut yourself fabric very, very quickly. Very, very quickly, which I love, and accurately, which is the other fabulous thing. Right, so let's just cut ourselves some little 2.5 inch squares. No, of course, I mean, you can cut yourself 2.5 inch squares but it just won't, with other rulers, it just won't be quite as quick as it will be with one of these. Oh, hi Theo. Yeah, no, you just come marching on in there. That's fine. So Theo yesterday just decided to sleep in the vegetable box, and that was on the table, and just occasionally wake up and just bop an egg on the Easter tree. You? Yes. Yes, yes. He does like to be in on the action. So then I've got all my little squares there. There they are. Dink, dink. Pile them up in colour order. And like I say, these can either go in their drawers or under their pillow to help them go off to sleep. I love lavender. I have a little lavender spray mist thing to help me get off to sleep. I find it really relaxing because I struggle to relax. It's brain's always going 19 to the dozen. Shall we do the ravioli first as we're here and we've kind of got them ready? And I chain piece these. It's pretty easy. Have we got any questions? Let me just check if we've got any questions. Hello, good morning. Oh, hi, Jackie. Gosh, look at you all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Loads of you there this morning. Oh, Elizabeth says lovely weather for it. Blooming cold today. Oh, Elizabeth, I did think of you. What day was it? Friday or Saturday? Yeah, I took the plunge to get rid of the roots. I think it's fair to say that no hairdresser is trembling in their boots to know that I am now dyeing my own hair. Yeah, my hairdresser Mandy knows that I will be straight down there as soon as I can. Rachel says the roots are looking fab. They're looking a bit, well, they're looking less bad than they were, but yeah, there's yeah. Alison says that she's switching back to Facebook because I'm frozen on the screen. Oh, it's actually quite cold today. And Sheena, morning, Tasha, watching you while cutting out scrub fabric, off to get a kit. Oh, good for you, good for you. Gabriel Twice says, have shared the post. Late, we'll catch up. I know what I have to say to you, actually, all of you. Bear with me because, I'll do it at the end. Remind me to do it at the end. I've got the winner of Sarah's book, and we never announced the winner for the prize the week before. So basically, when you finish watching this, if you like it and share it with all your friends, because so many people just don't know that we're here, then it's just a nice way for people to get to know that we're there and out and about. Then yeah, if you could do that, that would be really appreciated. And then each week we pick a prize winner for those people who have liked and shared our video. So I've got winners for you. SJ sent me. SJ does all of that. She knows all the competition-y type stuff that have people for that. People who know, which is great. And Christine says, did you know that enzymes in your saliva will remove your blood from fabric if you prick your finger? Yes, I did know that. But in the current climate, I don't know that people would want anything that I had slobbered all over. So yes. Sil says, morning, morning. So good I said it twice. Sil, how is that gorgeous grandchild of yours? Oh, beautiful. Just beautiful. And April is celebrating her 50th birthday today and enjoying the show. Happy birthday, April. That's Australian April. We all know Australian April now. We're all friends. And Susan says, happy Easter. Yeah, happy Easter. And Barbara's just got back from her walk. Nice cup of coffee and watching us. Good morning. Yes. Oh, look at you all. Bless you. Good morning. You see, this is why I don't feel even remotely on my own. Well, I'm not. I mean, I've got family, obviously, and the dog's just down there having a lick. So you're never on your own, but you know what I mean. Helen says, is it possible to get the fabric for the cushion without the patterns as you need to make two? Yes, Helen. Yes. Yes, yes. And the pattern is going up separately. So the fabric is on the website by the ½ metre. It won't be for much longer because it'll be taken off to go into these kits. But if you get it now, then that's fine. And the pattern is available separately if you want. And that comes with the lavender. So if you've got fabric, because not everybody, I'm told, not everybody wants glow-in-the-dark spaceships. What? No one I know, right? No one I know. But apparently that's true. I would question that market research, but in the event that it were true, yeah, you can get the pattern by itself and the lavender, little bag of lavender, which smells divine. They love it when I go into Hochanda and I've got my kits with me because it all smells of lavender or sandalwood from the buckwheat. They're like, your stuff smells great. Like, I know, I've got to combat the smell of dog in my car somehow. Right. Enough chat. Let's have a look at this. What am I doing? Here we go. Let me change the camera angle over. So with these are ridiculously quick and easy to make. Put your little 2.5 inch squares together, just like so. 1/4 inch seam. Thank you, machine. And all I do is whee, spin. I sew round 3 sides. Oh, I went a little bit far there. And then I just sew off the edge because, you know, living life in the fast lane here. Now, if you want to make these absolutely immaculately, then you can. But this is how I've always made mine, and they've never fallen to bits yet. And believe you me, these get chucked around the room. Emily always goes through her drawers and finds them hilarious. She's another one that likes to sniff them. So I just go round 3 sides. Dink, dink, dink. And I'm not lining those edges up really carefully or anything like that. This really is something that a beginner can do. Anyone can do this. I made a whole load of these for, there you go, I'll just do 3, I'll do 1 in each fabric, for the end of school fair. And then I get, and this is why I didn't need to be super, super, super careful with everything, because I'm going to go around those sides and I'm just going to pinking shear those edges so that they won't unravel. Unraveling ravioli, that's not what you want. And then, but yeah, so, and if you want to do it with a decorative stitch or a contrasting stitch, then do that. That's absolutely fine. Snip. And just go around those edges. And that's going to stop them fraying. It's all going to be fine. I can smell the lavender in here already. And Freddie's already bagsed these and said, can he have them? And I'll just pop them under his pillow. It only came to me this morning, about 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, of course, that's how it needs to be done. So then you get your little bag of lavender. I've got a great big pot of it here because I use it in loads of stuff. And then a teaspoon is enough. Honestly, I've overfilled and underfilled, and the right amount is about a heaped teaspoon. Well, it's suddenly got like Saturday morning kitchen, isn't it? And that is plenty in there, obviously. There we go. In each one. Yeah, so I made a whole load of these for school because it was something that they could just sell in the stand. Everyone wants nice smelling pants, right? And just, you know, like 3 or 4 in a little organza bag. They didn't take very long or cost too much to do, and I could use my off scraps. My off scraps? You know what I mean. My offcuts. That's the one. Scraps of fabric. And then, oh, lots of lunging going on today. There we go. Just sew down 1/4 inch again. And this time, if you want to at any point do a holding stitch, then do. But to be honest, I really don't bother. Because you're going over the edge of, because you sewed onto and straight off the edge. You're sewing over those stitches, so they're not going to come undone. There we go, done. Looks like some sweet little bunting, doesn't it? Put there. Snip, snip, snip. And if you're gifting these, just pop them in the pocket of the bag. But they smell amazing. Oh, they smell so good. Yes, they smell really sweet. And just pop them in the little pocket and then off you go. Thread there. There we go. So that's your ravioli done. That was quick and easy. Now let's go back to this bit. Right, so we've done one cut. Let's just finish off squaring these up. I layer up because each piece is the same. Honestly, it is the most easy beginner's project. And I've got cheat binding. Cheat, not cheap, cheat binding. Oh yeah, like spot the one that I folded the different way. And then fold it in half. So your fat quarters, get 3 fat quarters in here. Your fat quarters are, because that's all it takes is 3 fat quarters this. Obviously they're 50 centimetres one and 55 centimetres the other side. And that's because your fabric is 110 centimetres. So when it's cut in half, that's 55 centimetres, but it's half a metre, so that's 50 centimetres. So that's how that all squares up. I had to do maths this morning to measure all my binding. You get some fabric left over as well. Nice size scraps there. So you could always piece those together and make a little glow-in-the-dark tablet stand if you wanted. Or book stand, book rest it could even be. Oh no, what have I just done with all the comments? Ah, there we go. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, Cheryl had captions as well. I don't know why it started doing that. It's really weird, isn't it? No idea. Absolutely none. I don't think it always quite catches up with what I'm saying either, to be honest. Then you have to decide which way round you want. So I'm going to do all the glow-in-the-dark fabric on the front, because this is the only one that isn't glow-in-the-dark, but it is that gorgeous orange, which just ties everything together. So on this one, the other one, all of the fabrics are glow-in-the-dark. But I couldn't resist that orange. And yeah, finger press. I should probably tell you what I'm doing, shouldn't I? That would really help. So decide which way you want to be your back and which way you want to be your front. And you put them as they will be on the cushion. So it's none of this right sides together, it's wrong sides together, because we're going to sew the binding straight on. That's it. I'm just going to change over my colour so that it actually blends in. And this is my new favourite thing on how to do cushions, because it kind of finishes it. It gives it a little full stop, and I just think it's a little bit fun. So this is my newfound favourite thing to do, and I've found some fun binding that it's really easy to do. Right, let's get some thread in. So who had an Easter egg hunt yesterday? Anyone? Anyone? We've discovered that our garden's okay for Easter egg hunts, but we do always count the eggs out and count them back in again. A, because I tend to forget where I put stuff, and B, I don't really want the dogs finding any chocolate and eating it. They are not a help on an Easter egg hunt, let me tell you. Right, that was quick and easy to do. So then, decide which one you want as your pocket. So I'm going to have orange on the back, glorious glow-in-the-dark on the front. It sort of seems to charge up in daylight. It's quite funny stuff. And then I'm going to get my binding, which is all pre-pressed for me. And I'm going to pop that onto there, fold it over, just finger press it. And then just chop off the end there. And then I'm going to go to the machine, and you can pin it, clip it, whatever you need to do. I'm not going to because I like to live dangerously. And on the machine, what I will do is change this to a zigzag. Number 4 is my zigzag, and I'm going to turn that dial up to number 5. And what that will do is it means that when I put this in, all folded over neatly, I'm going to make sure that my binding is going into that middle bit of my foot. And then I know that my needle is going to swing halfway. This is the halfway mark, so my needle is going to swing equally either way. And I am just putting my finger here. I'm not feeding or pulling or dragging or anything. I'm letting the machine do everything that it does. I'm simply guiding it through. That is all I'm doing, making sure that that middle bit there. And because my stitch, you can make this on a longer stitch length should you wish. But I found that this is enough, even for me who chats and gets distracted. That is enough. And you can see, now you can do a decorative stitch if you want, but that is there. I did on one of Freddie's cushions, I did stars all the way along, which I should have thought about that for this one. Would have been really sweet, wouldn't it? But I didn't, so tough. So this one now, and you could do that, I mean, you could do that in an orange thread, you could do that in a bright thread. What I would say is that if you are at all unsure, go for something that's just going to blend in. So that is then how this cushion is going to look. I'm going to have all my shooting stars. Woo! My little shooting stars, and then all my spaceships there. So I've done all of that. Whee! I love this. Apparently that little thing will show up cat pee as well around my house, which is a delightful thought. Who knew? Right, okay, let's talk binding. So when I start on the binding, I'm going to start in a corner up there, and I am going to fold it over. I'm going to cut it on a little angle like that. I'm going to place it on there, fold it over, but I'm not going to start sewing right at the end. Actually, no, I can, can't I? I can start sewing right at the end. There we go. What I will do is pop a little clip where I'm going to start, and a little clip up to the end. Right, I'm going to show you how I do the binding. It is not purist, okay? So for those of you that are purist, just look away. Don't upset yourself, look away. But this is how I'm going to, let me just quickly pin, clip the pocket in place. None of this is purist, but it does the job. So if you're worried about binding and you're not quite sure how you're going to manage it, may I suggest this way. So the reason I cut it on the diagonal was just to take away a little bit of bulk. I'm going to do a holding stitch, and then I'm going to, back on my zigzag, I'm going to do that all the way up. To about, and this is not an exact science, 1/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to do that holding stitch again. What? She's cutting it. Is she mad? Yeah, possibly. Let me show you then how I'm going to miter this corner. Because of how this binding is quite sort of starched. So what I do, I'm going to hold it where I finished my stitching there, and then put my finger on it, and that sort of squashes it. Very technical term, and then I fold the corners over. That has just given me a perfectly mitered corner. And what I do then is pop that straight under my foot. There. I made sure that I finished with my needle to the right hand side, so that the next stitch that it goes into is going to be on that side, and it's going to pin that binding down for me. Like I say, this is like a cheat guide. If you are purist, do not look. I'm going to put a holding stitch in there. But I know that a lot of people won't oh gosh, they won't bind because it's scary. So this I thought would be a really easy cheaty way. And it was sort of inspired by Sarah saying that actually this is how a lot of Americans will bind their quilts as well. And I was like, well, hang on a minute, why have I been trying to hand stitch the back of my quilts and just putting it off and putting it off and putting it off? Surely it's better to do it this way and just get it done than to faff about and not get it made. So you don't have to mess around and make the binding. That is in your kit. That is all done and in your kit. And you don't have to worry about whether or not your binding is accurately made or anything, because it is. I'm going to go, right, I'm stopping with it up on that top right hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4, or however many it does. Take it out again. Hold it where you finish your stitches. Open it out. Push it against that corner. Fold it over like that. Done. Put that back under your machine. Honestly, it's the easiest way of binding that I have ever found, and let's just not make life easy. Let's not make life difficult. Again, lining up my foot so that the middle of that, the binding, the edge of that binding is in the middle of my foot. My needle is on the right hand side so that when I do that holding stitch, I am good to go again. Now, if you want to do this with your walking foot, that's fine, absolutely fine. And I'm going to come down here. I'm just going to flip that over. But this hasn't needed excessive pinning. This is all about the quick and easy make that is going to encompass raw edges. And again, go slow. Well, yeah, I should have gone slowly over those layers. I'm not forcing, I'm not dragging, I'm not holding my fabric back. I'm very lucky because my sheen doesn't pull to one side. So I know that I'm really lucky. My old brother that I had used to pull dreadfully to one side. And it was a right old pain to try and do anything straight on. Okay, fingers, push, fold it over. Lovely and neat. Pop it back under the machine. So I'm basically using that foot as a clip to just hold everything in place. 1, 2, 3 again. And off we go. Just making sure that my fabrics are lined up. Yeah, they are. We're all good to go. Dinkety dink dink dink. If you want to pin and clip all the way down, please do so. But I mean, I'm going at this like the clappers. I do know you can take your time. My friend Gemma has started helping me out a little bit while she's on isolation, lockdown and all of that. And she made a gorgeous tote bag for me the other day. She's like, it took me hours. How long does it normally take you? I was like, about an hour. But I'm introducing her to the world of tele-sewing and how that invariably has to be a lot quicker than when you sew at home. So when I take the odd shortcut, It's simply because time is of the essence for me. Of course, if you want to take your time, then do. Fingers holding those stitches and then just push. I'll show you that again because that was awfully done, sorry. There you go. So my fingers are there where I finished my stitches. And you can actually hold that back one down there and then just fold over. Mitered. And then you're folded down, ready to go. Now, you might be an amazing quilter who will make their own binding and do everything themselves. Good on you. I salute you. Well done. I'm not. I've tried making my own binding. It takes forever, quite frankly. Life is too short. But I've got a whole load of quilts that need binding, and so this is going to be my new shortcut, I think. I'm just going to cut that straight. Now I'm going to sew past the pocket. Okay, I will just clip that. I'll just do with all my clips. There we go. Clip that to there. And off we go. Did I do my little holding stitch? Can't remember. Anyway, down we go, down we go, down we go. Now, normally you would leave yourself a turning through gap, right? But actually, what I'm leaving is a stuffing gap. That's what I'm leaving here. Just enough room that I can get my hand in and stuff. That's what I'm doing. So, get your stuffing, whatever style of stuffing you like. I will be trimming off those little bits. There. You can, if you're someone that does need to bind properly, then of course do it that way. But this is just a little cheaty way. Stuff to the furthest corners first is always my top tip to you. Fill those corners, especially when you're using a stuffing like this one. It really helps if when you get it out, just give it a little floofing, shall we say, a little floofing, and then stuff it in, and just so that you don't get any kind of lumps or whatever. It's like when you've washed cushions, isn't it? They can get a little bit lumpy and you have to kind of floof again. I like this stuff. This is made from old plastic bottles. And when I find a way to post it without it costing the earth, because it's a really unwieldy shape, I'll put it back up on the website again, because I love the fact that this used to be plastic bottles. They take it and recycle it. I mean, this is great, right? Absolutely great. I have an idea as to how I can start to actually post that, because that makes a lot of sense to me. I like that. Paola's watching. Morning, Paola. Are you not on Hochanda this morning? How are you, my darling? Paola is getting into her quilting big time. She's going to be amazing because she's got that eye for colour, and she's got that personality that means that she's very accurate when she does stuff. Her first quilt was just divine, so that's really exciting. I love it when we get someone new to play with in the old quilting world. It's always good. And so I love it then when I'm on Hochanda and I have a show with Paola, when it's a fabric show, because I know she'll really, really appreciate it. Into that other corner. In we go. Actually, Paola, this might be quite something nice for your little niece. Possibly not spaceships, but I know that you've got a fabric stash. Because let's face it, what are kids going to be doing? There's only so many episodes of octonauts and stuff that even most kids can bear to watch. So yeah. And if you've got the lavender and that has a calming effect, surely that's good. Bit more stuffing. Just talk amongst yourselves while I'm busy stuffing away here. Who else is watching this morning? Oh, lots of you. Good morning, good morning. Can you turn off the subtitles by clicking? Oh, you can. Yes, 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 yes. When you're watching on the top right hand corner, there's three little dots, and that's, I don't know why it started putting subtitles on. Maybe it decided I talk too fast or something and decided that the world needed subtitles in order to understand me. Can't argue with that. Oh, Elizabeth thinks I'm going to stitch over my bracelet. Hadn't even occurred to me. Now I probably will. Now you've mentioned it, I will, you know, energy flows where your attention goes, right? And I'm now going to be thinking about that going, oh no. I didn't realise. I'll take it off if it's going to upset you. Jess is watching. Jess, anyway. Oh, I know that Jess, mother of boys. Not that this is a fabric that is just for boys. I have to say, Emily has her eye on it as well. But I know that this is a fabric that you rather love as well. Who else is watching? Here we go. Nearly done, everybody. Nearly done. I just want to show you. And again, this is just like if you buy proper official books, you will probably not find this binding method in there. But if, like me, binding is something that has scared you, then this is a way just to get it done and get it done effectively. And that is fine without having to go into the corner and diddle-a-dur and all this kind of scary stuff. What I'm going to do is put in extra and sort of stuff it down and have enough that will then come up into that corner where I'm about to just finish off sewing. Okay, so it does look a bit lumpy for now, but bear with me, it's all going to be fine. I've given you a little bit extra in terms of your binding. A little bit more. Can't resist. Right, so with your binding, we're now going to go up to there, overlap it a little bit and cut it a little bit back. Fold it back over. So I then, this isn't a fabric that frays, by the way, this binding. I cut it like that, like a little arrow, and then fold in half. And then just fold that over the top there. And I will then just finish off stitching along there and then fold that back so that you've got no raw ends there, and just place that over the top there. And because you've got that nice wide zigzag stitch, that will just sort that out. So make sure, if you need to just press, I mean I've creased that edge there, but if you need to just, oh, make sure you've got it all over that side as well. Do just take a glance the other side. So basically where I've been filling, I've creased my fabric. So I will just pop some clips in there just to help me. And then just stuff that in there. Very technical, isn't it? Just stuff that in there. Clip there. And just check, yes, everything is covered in there. Take that back to the machine and stitch it. So you can see I'm going to start where I left off there, and then just stitch up to where I finish, and that will just encompass all of that, and you're going to be good. I'm going to take that off because there's some stuffing in there now. Basically, any way that I'm not adding any kind of bulk on is always good. So everything will align because I know that when I put my foot down, I want it to be that middle bit of my foot will be over the middle of my binding. So, and you might have to wrestle it a little bit because it's got some stuffing in. That's okay. And I'm just going to hold that stitch there. Find my foot pedal, which has decided to, whoops, slip off somewhere. And off we go again. Sorry, it's a bit tricky to see, isn't it? There's a lot of cushion in the way. But I know that my zigzag stitch is nice and wide. Just off the end. And there it is, all done. Give it a little shape. So where I've overfilled, I'm now going to work that up into that corner. That'll take a little bit of time to do. And then there is my cushion. This one's the navy version, depending on which one you go for, navy or the orange. And again, you know, you can decide which way round you want to do it. And then you've got your little lavender ravioli to pop in there. And then if they do sleep on it, smells amazing. Or like I say, pop it in their pants drawer or pop it in under their pillow to help them sleep. And there we have it. One little gift. So that is today's show. And if Freddie doesn't sleep well tonight, then really there's no excuse, is there? That's the end of today's show. Thank you so much for watching. Oh. Hang on. I have names, don't I? I've got to give you names. Oh, Auntie Jilly's watching. Hello, Auntie Jilly. Auntie Jilly works in a bank. You said that people are not, they're going in families. It's like a day trip, is it? But no, she's a key worker. She used to be a nurse as well. She's an awesome lady and a key worker, and we salute you. Right, so let me see. So the winner of Sarah's signed book, which is over there, Sarah Payne's signed book, I will send that out, and that is Ginny Mackey. Congratulations to you. And then I realised I didn't tell you who'd won from the week before, and you're going to get some gorgeous fabrics, and that's Sandy Bakes. So congratulations. And again, from this week, whoever likes and shares this video, we will pick someone, and it's all done at random, to win something gorgeous next week, and that will be the prize draw for that. Now, what else do I have to say? Yes, so tomorrow I'm going to bring you some brand new Lewis and Irene fabric, which is absolutely gorgeous, and of course at the moment isn't going to be readily available in the shops because they're all shut. So I will bring that for you tomorrow. I've got some fat quarter bundles coming for you tomorrow in some fab fabric, some lovely blenders and things and neutrals and stuff. So that's all coming tomorrow. Really, really gorgeous fabrics. So then we'll have a little play with some creative grids and what else, whatever you fancy. If there's anything in particular that you really fancy, then let me know. Yeah, there was something else we were going to do. Gone off the top of my head. Who knows? But thank you ever so much for watching today and sharing this morning with me. And sorry that Facebook decided to change the code for whatever its reasoning was. If you want to watch the show in its entirety, then you can do so on YouTube or on my website, which is www.natashamakes.com, and that's where you can find all the goodies from today's show. If you don't mind, I'm going to stop going to the post office every single day to post stuff out, and I'm gonna go every other day. Just, you know, if you're happy to just wait an extra day or so for your things, that would just make me feel a little bit more comfortable with current situations. And what else to say? Is there anything else? Thank you as ever for shopping with me. And if you want to watch this on the website, then just click on watch live, and then all of the products that have been on today's show are underneath there if you don't want to have a search. But if you do want to have a rummage around on the website, we've got some gorgeous stuff on there. So do have a little rummage around on there. Treat yourself, you deserve it. It's Easter. I will see you bright and early for Textile Tuesday tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Have a gorgeous rest of the day. Take care. Bye bye.